Alright, here I'm going to talk about complex numbers. So, when looking at a complex number, there's kind of two parts to the complex number. The first part is the A, and it is the real part of the number. And then the second part is the B times I, which is the imaginary part of the number. So, any complex number is just made up of real part of the number and an imaginary part of the number. Now, with complex numbers, we can do different operations. So in this video, I'm going to talk about adding and subtracting complex numbers. So suppose I have the following example. 7 minus 6i minus 3 minus 6i. If I want to subtract these two imaginary numbers from one another, I can do it just like I would as if the x's or if the i's were x's. So for instance, I can take this negative and distribute to both terms behind it. This will give me a negative 3, and then the negative distributed to a negative will become a positive 6i. Now, if you notice, I haven't done anything to this first grouping, so really I can just drop down the 7 and drop down the negative 6i, and I really don't need the parentheses anymore. So now I have 7 minus 6i minus 3 plus 6i. At this step here, this becomes exactly like combining like terms. So I'm going to end up combining the I terms, and then I'm going to end up combining the numerical terms. So for instance, I can write this as 7 minus 3, and then negative 6i plus 6i. Well, if I take 7 minus 3, that will be 4. And then if I take minus 6i plus 6i, I will get plus 0i. Or in this case, that's really just 4. Alright, let's take a look at a second example here. So suppose I have 8 minus I plus 5 plus 4i. Once again, there's really nothing to distribute here because a positive won't change any of the signs. So I can just copy this down without parentheses. So this is 8 minus I plus 5 plus 4i. And then once again, this is like combining like terms. So I want to combine the i's together and then combine the numerical terms together. So 8 plus 5 and then a negative I plus 4i. Well, 8 plus 5 is 13. Negative I plus 4i is a positive 3i. Once again, this will be the real part of the complex number, and this part on the end will be the imaginary part. And the whole thing is a complex number. Okay? But ultimately, this is the solution to simplifying in example 2.